The Birth of a City is a 10-panel sculptural wall installation of bronze, and it tells the story of Dallas through the mid-1930s. When we work together, Brad and I land on an idea. He takes his path and I take mine. Mine is more of a written story, is more of research, as opposed to Brad gets an image when he and I are talking.
Well, we started all the way back with sort of the beginnings of Dallas. You know, this is the first house slash post office slash trading center. The center panel is sort of taking from Jerry Bywater's Trinity Viaduct painting, where it's a bit of a populist view of what can be, showing many races along with the work that's going on, the development and the building of the city.
It was important to us to start way back at the beginning. A reference, we quickly moved to 1936, but our last panel is definitely about art. We wanted to build towards art knowing that it's leading up to the entrance of a museum. We thought what would be fun is having perhaps Alexander Hogue and Jerry Bywaters in our mural itself. So we show them in our last panel.
From our original concept drawings, we wanted to make sure that we could translate it properly into clay. We did 2 renderings. What this did was this created a style that we could then follow throughout. On the flat work, you can sort of see it, but when you see it in 3D, it's like, I get it. It showed us styles, it showed us angles, it showed us linear lines. When you look at it as someone who's not doing this, it's just kind of a cool thing, but when you look at it, break it down from a fabrication standpoint, it has a lot of information in it that I used to follow throughout the whole thing.
Brad and I felt like we're storytellers, but we're not historians. And to that end, we did quite a bit of research and talked with other individuals that were historians. Not that we looked to them for content to the story, but to make sure that if somebody came up to the sculpture, saw something, learned more, that it put them in the right direction.
This one next. 1, 2, 3. This was all sculpted as one continuous long clay piece. So it was about 40 feet long and 6 feet high. And then from that, we broke it up into sections. But then we use silicone rubber and we apply that to the clay so that you get exact detail. And then you go through the process of applying wax into the silicone and then cutting that up into manageable sections. So you cut it up into about 6 or 7 pieces, and then you weld it back together. Go up this way. 1, 2, 3. And cast it in bronze and fabricated it. And now we're in the process of working the finish down, putting the final patina, and then we'll put an anti-graffiti coating on it and get ready for the install.
We are 1 week out from installing this, and it's such an exciting time to see the birth of a city very close to being introduced to the community. And this really is a sculpture that was born of Dallas, and it's for Dallas.
Okay, go. We wanted to create an iconic space here in Dallas that sort of is our interpretation of what Dallas was and what it is for us today. So we get to learn a little bit of our history through this piece and put a lot of blood and sweat into it. So it's like sharing some of our passions with the city and the world.
3, 2, 1.
site-specific piece in that it was developed for this block, leading up to the 508 Park. What's going to be going on there?
Well, actually, this is the Trinity River, and this is depicting them using the ferry. Brad wanted us to see that downtown Dallas had several schools.
This was going to
Right.
fourth graders. This is going
Yeah.
to businessmen
Yeah.
downtown. This is going to the folks that go to the stew pot. These are visitors to 508 Park.
Just a really great opportunity to tell this story through a sculpture. It's an artist's dream to be a part of this.